Welcome to LASOM Athletics. My name is Lucas and this video is all about the original GoPro Bite Mount with the Floaty versus the third-party mouth mount. That's been said, let's get into it. What we've got here is the brand new GoPro Hero Bite Mount with the Floaty and my used mouth mount, which is the third party, and it comes from a company called Camkix, and you can get many different brands, but we're gonna look today at this particular one. So to start with, let's have a look at the GoPro Bite Mount. Let's open the box and let's just see what's inside of it. Standard manual, booklets, put that to the side. And that's the packaging with our bite mount. So let's remove all the little bits and bobs. Here's our floaty, and inside of the floaty we've got this plastic case, so to speak, to keep it in shape. We've got our screw bit and we get our extension piece. And this is the mouthpiece with the built-in GoPro clip, which in my opinion is an amazing feature since it's very quick transition between your different mounts. So as you can see, this is what we get in a box with the original GoPro accessory. There's nothing else in the box, so we put that to the side. And we're gonna have a look at the third party. By the way, the build quality of the original gear is very nice, and it's just the quality. We've got nice GoPro logo and all that fancy stuff. Now let's move on to our third party gear. And as I said, this comes from a company called Camkix. Now, besides the obvious differences between the look of those two accessories, there are differences between what you get in a box, so to speak. So you just saw what we've got inside of the GoPro accessory. Now, the Camkix mouth mount comes in this plastic pouch, zip bag. So we crack open that, and what we get inside is again the mouth mount, which looks different to the one which we just saw from the GoPro. We do get a leash, which is in my opinion a great add-on to the whole set. Now you see here two rubber pieces which I attach myself to this leash. You don't get that with original packaging. I just add that on to add additional safety to, you know, my camera, but I can explain that a little bit later. We do get our floaty, and now there's a main difference between this floaty from GoPro and our floaty from the third party. So as you can see, the Floaty from GoPro is the actual case which your camera sits inside of. This is the old school, so to speak, way of putting the Floaty onto your camera or onto your gear. So when you've got a device like this or accessory like this, which is the underwater case, you would stick this Floaty, let me just get it out for you, out of plastic packaging. You would basically stick that onto the back door of this waterproof case as such. So that's how it will look, fully, so to speak, assembled. I like the idea of having the whole case, which is the GoPro idea. What's cool about this Floaty device is that the Velcro, which it comes with, it's actually this plastic type of Velcro. It's not the material one. So it just seems to be more sturdy, and you know, it looks like it's just gonna last longer. So that's another piece to our unboxing. Of course, we get the screw piece, which just goes through here. So when you attach your camera, you lock that in position with this screw piece. And we do get this anti-fog inserts, 2 of them. So as you can see here, when I showed you my underwater case, I actually do have some of the anti-fog inserts inside of my case, because it does get foggy inside of this case when the camera sits inside and you lock the door. So it's very useful, and it's actually necessary. When I got that, I thought to myself, you know what, do you actually need these anti-fog inserts? What's that? And you know, I thought, oh, that's just like basically additional accessory which doesn't bring anything to the table. But actually this stuff is very much needed when you use either an accessory like this, which is your underwater case, or when you use one of those dome cases. So as I said, the main difference is not only the look of those 2 products, but also, you know, the quality of it, and you know, the aspects of how the camera will sit in these 2 mounts. So we're gonna have a look in that in a second. As I just mentioned a few minutes ago, this leash is a very cool addition to your third-party package, because it does add this additional safety to your whole, you know, equipment. Now, the reason why I did add those 2 rubber pieces, because funny enough, when you attach your camera to the leash, or let's say you attempt to attach your camera to the leash, you think to yourself, hold on a minute, what is the most vulnerable part of the whole attachment between the mount or accessory and the anchor point, so where you attach your camera to? Now, let's say we are using one of these quick clips, the J-hook clip, which also is the same as your flat quick clip. So the most vulnerable part of your whole arrangement of accessories, and you know, connecting the camera with the actual mount and the anchor point, the weakest link is actually this clip, because most of the time when you accidentally hit your camera, or something hits accidentally your camera, the most vulnerable part is this actual clip, and a lot of times I've seen situations where this is snapping off. So the idea of having the leash is to somehow connect this string here, this one here, to, for example, like this, to this clip. And then obviously we would use our screw to hold everything in place. But now, what do you think is going to happen when this element is going to snap? So your camera physically sits here like that, and now the J hook snaps right here. So what happens is this falls off alongside with this, and this just gets released from the whole thing. So basically, attaching your leash to the J hook like that is just pointless, because if it's going to snap here, then it's like not having this at all. So that's why I came with these two rubber pieces. And what I actually do with it is, when I take this waterproof case, or imagine that this is the GoPro itself. I'm actually recording with my GoPro, so I'm not gonna put it in here. So what I do, I like to put it like that. And this rubber comes from my resistant bands, exercising resistant bands. So they're very sturdy and very, very, very good quality in terms of how flexible it is, how sturdy it is, and how, you know, how good it can actually hold to things. So you see, when I do it like that, now if I've got a J hook attached to here and it snaps all of a sudden, then my leash is attached to my hand, to my arm, to my leg, to my board. So my camera is safe, because this actually will fly off and will be attached to my hand, and the rest of the J hook will just fly off and whatever, or the mount will fall off, you know. So that's a quick tip in this video of why I put these rubber bands. That's been said, let's get back into our comparison of these two guys, which is the original GoPro and third party. Now, as I said, besides the obvious differences in terms of how those two accessories look like, and the second one, which is what we get in the box, there's more into it. So two main questions which we have to ask is how comfortable and how stable those two accessories will allow us to capture our footage. Let's start with the GoPro original mount. So as we can see, we are going to attach our camera right here. So it's more or less in the middle of this whole design. And even if we put our extension here and push it slightly backward forward, it will still be fairly in the middle. We can kind of shift the point of balance, right? We can keep it straight, we can put it more forward, more backward, or actually more center wise. So that's very cool and that's very good, and this will sit very nicely and steady in your mouth. So since we started with point number 2 of how stable the footage would be, it will be very stable with that. How comfortable would it be to hold this in your mouth? Now, because it's straight and it's made of nice kind of like silicone rubbery, you know, cover, it will be very much comfortable in your mouth. Now moving on to our third party mouth mount. As you can see, it resembles of the martial art mouth guard and also your typical snorkel type of setup, what you have in your snorkeling pipe. So there are main differences if you look at the design of those two pieces, which actually goes to your mouth. So this one, the third party, has got this hole inside which allows you to kind of breathe through your mouth. Me personally, I like to breathe with my nose, and actually in general in your life, breathing through your nose is how you're supposed to do it. The reason why I prefer the GoPro is that, as you can see, look how thin this element is compared to that. So imagine this is like holding a neck of the bottle in your mouth. So it has certain diameter, that's what I'm trying to say, where this is flat, so you can keep your mouth like kind of shut, your teeth together, in different words. So there is a reason why this is called a bite mount, because you bite to it since it's flat, and there is a reason why this is called the mouth mount, because it goes deeper into your mouth. Well, it goes as deep as the other one into your mouth. It just wraps around your gums, and you kind of have to bite to these bits as well. Now, how comfortable it is. When I use this, since now the point of gravity is towards the front, as you can see, so your camera will sit here, which basically will cause the whole thing to be pulled forward compared to the GoPro, which is more balanced, or you can set it to be more balanced, right? So in terms of the experience of using it, this was pulling my mouth, forward, and it was quite uncomfortable, to put it this way. But I guess even by using the GoPro mount, you still feel the weight of the camera itself after a while. So to me, the GoPro mount is much more comfortable. When I use this, since the point of gravity is more to the front, it kind of wants to move in my mouth, and obviously it depends how hard you bite to these biting pieces. But as you could see me just now, when I do that, look how soft this is. And on one side it's nice because it's in your mouth, so you don't want hard objects in your mouth. But in terms of biting into something, you want to be able to have that point of anchor, right? Or anchor point. This one is more, you see, sturdy. So this is made of nice, hard plastic, and it's literally, the mouthpiece is done of the same type of plastic. It's just covered with the silicone kind of rubber guard. So I would definitely prefer that setup to this one. So to round it up, I like the quality, sturdiness, and the whole design of the original GoPro accessory, but at the same time I do like the third party and what it has got in a set. So I like the leash especially, and now using the floaty from the GoPro original accessory, there is an attachment point here. So what I can do now, instead using what I've showed you earlier, which is those rubber pieces, I can remove them. I can actually take them fully off and now attach this string to this element, and that way there's no need to use those additional rubbers, or I can just attach the rubber to our floaty. This is LASOM Athletics. My name is Lucas. I would like to say thank you for being with me, and this was the original GoPro Bite Mount versus the third party mouth mount. As always, Be inspired, be creative, and be active. I'll see you soon, guys.